Now we officially know they're not getting Alec Pierce.
That's the first hit, huh?
Yeah. Are you surprised? I'm not surprised.
No, like the thing about it, like sometimes the guy that everyone wants, you know all the good stuff about him. You know if he's like that good and he puts in the work, or if he doesn't put in the work. The fact that they signed him, they feel like he does everything they want him to do.
Totally. And I think at the receiver position, you've got Rashid Shaheed, Romeo Doubs, Jawan Jennings. Like, that's more where I thought they would shop because I think, I more and more think they plan on bringing in Aiyuk. And then if it's Aiyuk, they feel like, all right, if he's right, we've got a star. So we're going to sign another guy that is not necessarily a star, but can play. So then you talk about Romeo Doubs. You talk about all that sort of stuff.
But the thing of it is, how depending on how much money you give Aiyuk, is going to dictate what else you can do.
I think it has to be. We talked about this last week. There's a number I'm not going over with Brandon Aiyuk. Mm-hmm. I don't even know that I'm getting to $10 million. I think we can give you 8 with a whole bunch of incentives. Like, you got to prove, 1, you're healthy, 2, you're not nuts. And 3, if this is really where you want to be, it's your time to show it. And if it breaks right and everything goes well, then we will talk contract come Thanksgiving.
Totally. Let's see if it goes like that, does it?
I don't, of the teams Schefter has mentioned with Aiyuk, it's Commanders, Steelers, Patriots.
Hmm.
Do you think everybody's still in on him?
On Aiyuk?
Yeah. Of Commanders, Steelers, Patriots, of the teams that were obviously part of it.
I don't know. I listen, for me, watching the things that have transpired, I would have to have a serious conversation with him. And I'm watching every little move. I'm videotaping and stuff so I can go back and check it out too. Because some of the things just don't seem normal to me. Now, like people have called in and stated that it could be more. It could have been something else going on there. Listen, man, Kyle can be a piece of work.
Sure.
Kyle can say some stuff that could be a piece of work. And maybe you don't want to deal with it because you know you might have to put your hands on him. Like I felt like a couple of times. I don't know what it was, but it better be something for you to walk away from that type of money.
We've got more wide receiver news as the NFL new league year tampering period is open. Olamide Zaccheaus had a lot of success here in Washington in 24. Zaccheaus heading back to Atlanta. That's how he broke into the league as an undrafted free agent with the Falcons. Now he's going back to the Falcons. OZ's a guy this time last year that Washington didn't seem interested in keeping. He had a good season with the Bears. It won't be OZ, obviously, if he's going back to Atlanta. But that's where I want Washington to be. Let's get a couple more professional receivers that you can count on for 700 yards and 5 touchdowns. Just guys you know have been in the league, shown what they can do, etc. So I think that also reminds me of one of the funniest stories ever when Cliff Kingsbury said at first he was calling him Oz, and finally the teammates were like, yo, it's OZ, not Oz. And Cliff said, I had never felt older or whiter in that moment of calling him Oz.
Probably why he didn't speak back to you. You didn't call me the right damn name.
We got another one here. The Pats spending some money. Defensive lineman, kind of a linebacker, kind of a tweener. Draymond Jones to New England, 3 years, $39 million. He was with the Titans when Vrabel was there, then got traded to the Ravens. Now he's going to be back with the Patriots, back with Mike Vrabel. The Alec Pierce thing. Did anybody... I never thought... Once I saw, or honestly, it was when I was in Indy, because people in Indy were saying he's not getting out of town. But to me, when I started understanding the cash he was going to get, I was kind of out of the Alec Pierce business. Were you surprised? did you think Washington would be a more firm player in the Alec Pierce saga?
With all this talk about Aiyuk, and I think that they were feeling they didn't have to go into that one. I didn't think they would go to top market with him, but still, we have to understand if we're going to compete with the other teams, we can't get everybody at a discount. You got to pay for some people.
I agree.
And I don't know what position it's going to be, but you got to pay for somebody.
I agree with that entirely. Rap has more details on the Alec Pierce contract. I think I nailed this. $60 million fully guaranteed at signing. About 84 in guarantees, which means in that third year there's another year guaranteed for injury. And then a max package of around $116 million. Now, people are going to jump on this.
3 years, 84, basically?
It's really 2 for 60. Because the guaranteed for injury, they could bench him, they could cut him, they could do a lot of stuff. If he's healthy, you just release him, or you have him play. Maybe this is just the beginning for Alec Pierce, and he's about to become a superstar.
If it's 2 years, 60, that's $30 million a year. I'll take that. Ain't no problem to me.
Right.
And if you let me go, guess what? I'll be trying to get another deal.
Now, people are going to misconstrue this. He becomes the highest paid free agent receiver in NFL history.
That's just the AV.
No, it's the rest of these receivers don't get to free agency. Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, CeeDee Lamb, they signed massive contract extensions.
See, that's just like when you say someone has the largest streaming thing ever in history today. Thriller album, if it came out today, it would shatter everything that come out.
Right.
So we got to understand it's the times you're dealing with. But people don't care about that. People just want to move on and say what's what.
Well, it's also that the agents want everything to look like the biggest contract ever. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So Alec Pierce, good for him. This is a dude 1,000 yard receiving 1,000
got his cheddar
yard receiving season, and he's now making roughly $30 million a year. But don't let it confuse you that Jamar Chase is making 40, Justin Jefferson is making 35, CD's making 34. Just those guys were all extensions. A player that some thought Washington might be interested in is Raiders corner Eric Stokes. He has re-signed in Las Vegas, $20 million guaranteed. That's a David Mulligetta deal. It's happening now, man. There's going to be a lot going on.
They're going to be jumping around, baby.
Who is your top wide receiver candidate now that Pierce is officially off the board?
Here?
Yeah.
Jennings and Aiyuk are left, in my mind. Well, we consider Shaheed a receiver, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Shaheed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. He has speed that none of those other guys have.
Totally.
And used properly, he could be a problem.
I mean, he was really good for Seattle down the stretch.
Yeah.
Rashid Shaheed is going to be 28 in August. True speedster in every sense of the word. Never really sniffed a 1,000-yard season. Had 720 yards in 23, where I think he was a Pro Bowl return guy. He's had some durability questions.
Shaheed?
Yeah. For me, that just feels like too much of an overlap with a young player I'm excited about with Jalen Lane. I think, to me, like, if you put Brandon Aiyuk in a separate category of this, like, all right, we're going to roll the dice with a question mark kind of thing, and we need to supplement that with somebody, maybe it's too much recreation of the Niners. I like Juwan Jennings a lot. I also think if they're going to get under center more and they're going to try to be more physical and they're going to try the play action, Juwan Jennings is a dog of a blocker. But, dude, if Juwan Jennings costs you $21 million a year, I don't know. That might give me some pause. I like Romeo Doubs. I like his size.